Greetings. My name is Omar from the Omziel Healing Sanctuary, and we're here coming out of Plant Base in New Jersey. We're taking time to make another interview here. We're finding some fantastic people, and we're getting much better at this. So thank you for tuning in. I have a new special guest, as always, with us. So I'll just allow her to introduce herself.
Yeah, peace everybody. My name is Meerah. I just first want to really extend gratitude to the opportunity. Resources and opportunities, like I said, are amazing. So when they come my way, I'm receiving with open arms.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So my name is Meerah. I'm originally from New Jersey, North New Jersey, born and raised, South Ward. Shout out to Elizabeth Avenue. I'm currently located in Los Angeles, California. We'll get into that later, how I arrived there. I've been there for about 2 years now. But yeah, definitely a New Jersey native. So it's a pleasure to be back and giving back to the community as such.
That's great. That's great. One of the reasons why I chose to interview you is because I was looking at some of your Instagram feed, and I found that some of the things that you're doing are quite amazing, you know? Just giving back to the community and creating this space. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what is it that you're doing? What is the name of the non-for-profit, right?
Yeah.
You know, so tell us a little bit.
Great question. You said a powerful word, which was space. Creating and cultivating a space for people to come together, essentially. So right now I'm working on a project. Actually, the project is already in fruition. So I have a nonprofit book club called Read to Apply. And our intention, I started it with a partner. My partner, his name is Jason. So me and Jason, we started this book club with intentions of cultivating a space where people can come together through the power of reading, essentially. So we're not only reading with each other, but we're also applying the knowledge read in these books. How many times have you read a book, either not finished it, you read it, got through it, but now what am I going to do with this information? Who am I going to talk to? So we're talking, we're reading with each other, creating a safe place to do so.
So it's more than just a book club per se, like where people read and then they go, oh yeah, let's just talk a little bit about that and that's it, go home and nothing. This is like applying as well, right?
Community is at the root of it all. Community and finding that community through unity. Different spaces for unity. And we can unify, however, honestly. The modality of the book club right now is primarily in person. But we do offer the option if someone isn't, so it's all based in LA, everybody's based in LA, but if they can't show up that day, they can join us online. We allow that. Right.
I see that you're like in the beginning stages of creating this Read to Apply, right? So now that you have the space and you have people coming, tell us about how does it work? Who comes? What do you do when you get there? Tell us that.
Wow, I just got the power. It was a rush of joy, a burst of joy that just came upon me. And I wanted to actually like stand up and show you like somebody, as if like somebody walking into the book club. But to speak with intention, so it's every Saturday, 2 to 4 Pacific Standard Time. And when everybody arrives, we have an agenda. We have a system set in place of what we're doing for each portion. It's 2 hours long, so 2 to 4 p.m. When we first arrive, there's an energy integrator to integrate the energy to one accord. So whatever you came in with, we do a breath work, we either do a meditation, we might do some journaling for about 10 minutes, and that's the energy integrator, to bring everyone's energy to one accord, to be on the same page with each other, so we can move accordingly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then now you have everybody in the space. How many people are there?
10 people.
10?
10 people.
So you and your partner, Jason, right? So you have 8 people, right? So what goes on with the book and... Yeah, tell me about that.
So the book we're reading right now, I'm so excited. It's Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, How to Lose Your Mind and Create a New One by Dr. Joe Dispenza. So excited, so excited. So we were actually sponsored these books. The Book Truck, it's a nonprofit organization that provides literacy to underserved communities in Los Angeles. They sponsored us with 10 books. So we were able to provide it to our members.
That's great.
Yeah. So everybody show up with their books. Every session, you're responsible to bring it. So after the energy integrator, we sit down at a table and we pull out our books. We pull out our materials. We pass around their folders. Class is in session, but free flow. It doesn't feel like taunting or you're chained by a wire. Okay. Be yourself. Show up as yourself.
But what is the structure?
Okay.
Tell me about the structure of when you are sitting there and everybody gets the book. What occurs there?
Great question. Intentions are important. Now, I love how your questions direct to the flow of the conversation. Great job. So, great job. So, so the structure of the meeting is we read 10 people. We read for one person, reads out loud for 10 minutes. And then after the 10 minutes is up, we usually get 4 or 5 pages, every person. One person reads for 10 minutes. After the 10 minutes is up, we are discussing what we just read for 15 minutes. And that cycle repeats 4 times. So one person reads, discussion. Next person reads, discussion. And on and off like that. But yeah, it's really a time to read, essentially. But during that discussion is the highlight of the whole book club. We have activities. You know, discussion 1 is like a reflect and connect. So reflecting on what we read last week, connecting it to what we just read just now. You know, discussion 2 is an individual activity. The next one is a group activity. And the last one is a journal prompt. So it's intentions with the flow of how we're presenting the information and how we want the people to digest it. It's a structure. It's intentions behind that.
Right. Yeah, because that's where the reading to apply, that's where the apply part comes in. Where, okay, now we have this information, now let's use it. How would it apply to our daily lives or something like that?
That's powerful, for sure. Yeah, being intentional, relatability too. You just said something super important. How does it apply to our daily lives? I want to learn something where I can relate to it in a way I can change. I want to change my life. I want to change my life, and I want to do it with a group of people that's on the same time as me. Like-minded people. We're better as a community. We're stronger as a community.
Right.
You know, it starts with self, but when I come together and unite with people, it's powerful.
Of course. There's energy.
Yeah.
when two or more are present in my name, right? That's how the scripture goes, right? Because they know there's power in humans thrive when we're together rather than separate, right? But so now you have the book club, this non-for-profit. So how did you get there? What made you do something like this?
Yeah. It was founded from the desire to share greatness with the world. Me and my partner Jason, we got through 2 books together ourselves. We read the 4 Agreements together, and we also read A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. Miguel Ruiz, the 4 Agreements.
Don Miguel Ruiz, yes.
Yeah. So we got to those 2 books together, and on our second book, we decided, why keep it to ourselves? We're doing so great. Let's share this greatness with the world. We have the power within ourselves, and we believe in ourselves enough as individuals and as a unit. You know, it starts with self, and then you collide with your community to bring about greatness. But we said, why not share it with the world?
Right.
So we had a recruiting process, and that went from there.
Right. So you guys formulated a plan, say, hey, we're going to bring this out to the world and stuff like that.
We did.
It's amazing.
We did. It all started with an idea, with a passion, with you feel it on your heart and you feel it on your mind, and just to get the chance to talk about it, put it in action.
Yeah, I know. Execution.
It's powerful.
Some people have great ideas, but you have to go through and put action into it and apply it, right? So there you are with this newfound baby, right? And you're nurturing it and letting it grow and stuff like that. So how about in the future? How do you see this thing coming to be in the future? Because you mentioned some online stuff, but what else? What do you see?
Great question. Our vision essentially is to develop an international book club that prioritizes applying the knowledge learned from any forms of literacy. So we really prioritize taking applicable steps to applying whatever's gained. But international book club comes into play when I think about the future. So we envision, you know, multiple book clubs going on international, different countries, everywhere. You know, all of them could be on Tuesdays, all can be on, you know, different days. But that's really the plan, to equip people with the tools to do the work that me and my partner is doing right now as far as guiding and facilitating.
Right.
So long term, thinking about bringing on interns and having internships available, you know, people that's in college. You know, exposure is key,
right,
to different generations.
Right.
You know, we haven't decided on a target audience because we're open to all.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody reads. Yeah.
Exactly.
So.
Everybody does read, and knowledge can benefit anyone.
Yeah. Or everybody should read anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, because nowadays most people don't read. Like they don't send letters or something like that.
Wow.
Everything is on the phone and stuff. But that's great. So you told me a little bit about you're from Jersey, and then you ended up in LA, right? So tell us quickly about how you got over there.
I said, screw. I'm so excited. About 2 years ago, I drove from New Jersey to California in my SUV. Before I hopped on the road, it took about 2 weeks from the time that the desire popped up on my heart to go to California to me hopping on the road. It didn't take too long for me to execute on my plan, on my vision.
About a 2 week window, and you said, I'm going.
I was going.
And you got into the whip and you went, right? Yeah.
I sure did, skirt.
Wow.
It was really a test of faith, And I didn't really realize it while I was, you know, traveling on the road, that I'm really testing faith right now. I'm really receiving and believing in my journey. You know, I didn't plan. I didn't know nobody in California. I just trusted myself. It was definitely a time for self-exploration, you know, finding myself and just embracing hardship along the way.
Right.
You know, safety was always with me. I wasn't attacked or anything along the journey. I was definitely guided. But yeah, it took me getting that vision, believing in myself, and executing on it. Just trusting along the way.
Wow.
For sure.
That's incredible. And it's also like inspiring too.
Wow.
You know, because so many of us, like, we live our lives like so unsure about, like, what should I do? And, oh yeah, I know, I want to go do that. But maybe I'll do it tomorrow. You know, and then that just goes on. Then decades go by, and then nobody, you know, is making that move and executing on what is that they want.
Yeah.
So I could see the connection on how you made your trip over there by yourself in the car, you know, and struggling to find a little more stability in that, and then having that book club, finding your partner Jason, which I've seen him also on Instagram, and he seems like a great person and super powerful and super focused too. So I know I'm going to connect with you, Jason. Stay right there.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, so I could see the connection, how, you know, you created that mindset, you know, because it's quite a thing to step out of your comfort zone. Because that's what we do at the Omziel. That's our main focus, is to help people to realize their true potential and their power within, you know, and then step out of their comfort zone and into the uncomfortable situation. That way, when they go in their daily life, they can make better decisions. You know? So I see you there in LA. Now you're doing the book club and all that. You come back visiting here to Jersey, you're visiting your family. So what does your family think about all this?
Wow, great question. I want to highlight something you just said just now. You know, at the Omziel Healing Center, what you do is help people realize their potential, and notice and recognize that power that's within. The journey is honestly, it's internal. So to, you know, foster that greatness and be aware of the greatness that comes from within is amazing. So I just want to highlight what you said. And thank you for doing that at the Omziel Healing.
No worries. It's
Sanctuary.
my pleasure. It's my pleasure.
So to answer your question with intention, as far as my family, initially when I hopped on the road to Jersey, my family was not opposed for it. Like, they were opposed to it.
Right.
To speak correctly, they were opposed to it for safety reasons.
Right, of course.
For safety, their little girl is going across the country.
Right.
My mom, what?
Alone, I know.
Alone by herself, you know, traveling in the dark, all that. And it just, you know, it's the root of it is how I grew up.
Right.
So yeah, they weren't in agreement to it, but as time went on, they saw that I was doing good, and they just began to trust me, because they saw and felt the trust that I had for myself, essentially. That's why I believe it's so important to lead by example, to really lead by example, especially for the younger generation.
Right.
Because your family and your parents may be older than you, and they have a custom way of living.
Right.
So when you step out of that box, they're daunting you, like they're pointing fingers at you, saying like you're hard-headed, this, that, and the third. No, I'm believing in myself, mommy. Like I love you, father, but I'm believing in myself, pops.
Right.
Like,
And then be careful. Something might happen to you. You know, and then I always tell people, like, you know, look both ways before you cross the street. You know, anything can happen to you at any time.
Anything.
So why not take a chance in life?
Wow.
And give it that risk factor and say, yeah, you know, I'm going for it. I'm gonna see however it comes out, and then trust. Yeah. You know,
shout out to my parents though. Coming back to New Jersey, and Eckhart Tolle says, no matter how enlightened you think you are, go back to your parents and see what's up.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. Ram Dass, said something similar to that. If you think you're enlightened, go spend the weekend with your parents, and it's tough. Yeah, because it's all about control and like releasing some of those things. You know? But that's great that you're working with the book club now. You're in LA. Do you plan to stay there?
Yeah, definitely found a home in LA. I'm currently in transitional living, so it's supported by a nonprofit organization whose intentions and mission is to help youth in LA, help youth that's experiencing houselessness, and I fall under that category, so they've been providing me with the resources necessary. But to answer your question, California is my anchor state. But from there is the tropics. Like from there is different countries and exploring, but moving with intention, like preparing now. Going to California was super impulsive. It was an impulsive decision.
Right. That was a huge move. Yeah.
But I don't regret anything.
No, I could see that too. I could see how, you know, it would set you up for other things. It's sort of like the catalyst for future events. That would be, you know, it would be a big move for you to do something else with that also, but you would face it, you know, fearless, or at least say, you know, hey, I'm afraid, but I'm going to do it anyway. You know? Like, so.
Stepping into that. I'm going to do it because I am afraid, because I do believe in myself. I'm going to feel this fear, and I'm going to walk anyway. I'm going to walk with it. That's and honestly, it's gonna remove itself. It's gonna shed away. As long as you keep doing repetition over and over and over. So
that's good. I know. I see you've been listening to the books. That's
and applying it. This is an application within itself. Just having a conversation about the books. That's one way to apply it right there. You know, it doesn't always have to look like a pen and a paper. Conversation.
Yeah. In fact, like I do occasionally read books, but now I do more audio books. So I do quite a bit of driving during the day.
Got you.
And any free time that I have, like I'm with the audiobooks. So, you know, before I was like tricking myself, like, oh, I'm going to sit down and snuggle by the fire with a warm book, you know, but I just wasn't doing that.
Got you.
So I said, you know what, let me just do the audiobooks. And I just started like taking it in. Like, oh man, I started devouring books, like so many books. And most of them are like about self-help or raising my consciousness or vibration, about energy, a mindset, you know, communication with people, those type of things. So that's why when I saw you on the Instagram and about the books, I was like, yeah, of course, man. That's like a no-brainer, of course. And then I saw you guys got the Joe Dispenza, you know, book, and I also took in one of his books too, and he's totally amazing. He's just about that mindset. Because our mind, like when you want to do something, you really should just be constantly thinking about it, you know, because the brain, it grows, right? Because before scientists didn't know that, and they call that brain plasticity. It's growing, you know, those neurons are firing together and it's growing. So you're getting stronger in that area. So that's why they tell people, you know, just, you know, believe in what you want. You know, that's visionary. You have to like have it in your mind and see a clear vision of it, and just keep, no matter if it keeps morphing and moving, that's okay. Just focus on that, and it'll come to fruition.
What you said was just powerful. You know, holding a clear vision of what you want In the Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, the book that we're reading now, he talks about holding a clear vision with an elevated emotion and holding those two in alignment with each other. And that's when things come into fruition outside of you.
Right.
You know, a clear vision with an elevated emotion. I'm proud of myself for even being able to recite that just now. But yeah.
That's right. I was thinking about Dr. Joe Dispenza, and he speaks about the emotion. Because when I was taking in the book, he was like, you know, what would it feel like to be a millionaire? What would it feel like to be rich and have resources? What would it feel like to be,
healthy,
you know, having those things and have great health and great energy and physically fit? How would that feel? You know? And then you know, I just close my eyes and start feeling that, man, and just a smile just spreads on my face, like, and I'm powerful. I'm like, I'm laughing all day and my energy's up, and you know, I'm usually on a high vibration like that, thanks to some of these books, man. And what I tell people about books in particular is that books are like a window, you know, where you open up and you get to see everything, how it could be. And you go, wow, man, it's like that? I could do that too. And you go, you know. Another thing I tell people also is that we don't have to reinvent the wheel. The wheel is already made.
Wow.
Somebody already made it.
Wow.
It's right there in the book. In fact, he's showing you not only how he made it, he's telling you how to use it too. So why wouldn't we take in books? They're so helpful, you know?
Yeah. The word perspective comes to my mind. You know, reading, I'm gaining these new perspectives. It's also important to know where I stand. You know, to know what I want to believe, what are my values. And it wasn't always clear to me. Along the way, I had to experience things that didn't serve me well to know, nope, I don't want that. I don't deserve that. Now I'm going to put a value in place so I don't have to receive that anymore. So one of my values is healthy communication. Right? So I know that's a bar. I play around with the word expectations. I'm going to use value. That's a value. So that's what I expect from what I receive for the world. But, you know, sometimes the world throws you a curveball and it's testing. How am I going to respond to this situation that's not providing me with healthy communication? The world said, I hear your value, but this is what I have for you.
Right.
How are you going to respond to it? So it's honestly amazing. And having an opportunity to walk through these things with a group, with a community. Shout out to the book club. Shout out to Read to Apply. It's amazing. Support, you know, self-empowerment comes to play too.
For sure. Yeah. The support. That's what we do at Omziel. Like, it's a place where you can come and just express yourself however you see fit.
Okay.
We do different things. We're working in men's group online. We're doing retreats also. During the year, we've already had a number of them, extremely successful. And I think what sets us apart too is, you know, that mindset, and we're able to have accountability with some of these people too.
Oh, wow, okay.
You know, so, because sometimes you can fall into a big group, but then you just like, you fall away. You just, you blend into the crowd. It's kind of like going to a small town. Everybody knows your name. You know what I'm saying? You know where everything is. Everybody, hey, Mr. Joe, blah, blah, blah. Right? And then you move to New York City.
Yeah, and it's like,
you're gone. Nobody knows you. It's like how you dress doesn't matter. How you speak, it doesn't, you know, stuff like that.
Question. What does that follow-up look like as far as within the Omziel Healing Sanctuary? What does that follow-up look like, that individualism?
That's a great question. I'm so glad that you asked that. Well, you know, the first thing that comes to mind is the books, right? Because we do share books with individuals also, like audio books. I have a file sharing that I share with people. They receive my newsletter as well. And we share books with them. Me and my wife, we collect a number of books on audio too, and then we just share it with them through email like that. In addition to that, we also call and say, hey, what's up? Not text, you know, not email, you know, none of that, like a call. Hello, hey, or I would text to say, hey, can we schedule a call?
Okay.
You see, because scheduling is a big thing. Yeah, if you want to get things accomplished. So I would say, hey, can we schedule a call? 3 o'clock, bet. I put an alarm on my phone for 5 to 3, you know, and then that would be the follow-up too. And then we would speak, you know, people call it nowadays like a coach, a personal coach. So like, I'm your personal coach. You're just not paying that big price, you know? Like I do it with love and with great intentions for the bigger cause. You know, so that's how the follow-up looks with that, you know.
Thank you for answering.
Of course.
Sure.
It's great, you know, to share with people and empower them. You know, so that's how we do. We do our best to provide that for people. So that's why I wanted you on the, you know, I want to say on the show, but you know, you know, this platform, we're really working on this right here. And when you were open to come and say, hey, you know, of course, I'll do it. I'll talk, you know, come on. So here we are, you know.
Roles of leadership. Roles of leadership, you know, at the Omziel Healing Sanctuary, I can just imagine how people look up to you, you know, and trust you to guide them, you know, and I receive those roles that the universe is providing for me. You know, I fully believe in myself, and I want to affirm you also that, like, I'm thankful that the universe is providing you with these roles of leadership and these opportunities to guide the masses. It's honestly honorable. You know, and the same I receive for myself.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. It's a weird thing. Like, you know, when you put others first, like, you become first, right? Because that's another scripture too, right? The last will be first, right? And the first will be last. But the way I usually like to explain to people is that I'm really like a doorman, like a spiritual doorman. I'm just holding the door for you, you know, or I'm the usher. I'm the usher at the movie theater to help you get to your seat so you don't knock down somebody's popcorn. Or like that.
That's beautiful.
That's it. No more than that. You know, people see me in other ways, and I'm sure they see you in other ways.
Yeah.
That's okay, you know, like that. But at the end of the day, you know, we're just trying to help other people so we can help ourselves too, right?
Wow, that's powerful. I always say, like, the journey, it starts with self. Once I change, you know, if I want to change the world, I have to first change the world within myself. Because there's a whole world going on inside of us. I always say too, like, the most quickest way to connect with the world inside of us is through our breath.
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
The breath is powerful. It brings you
powerful.
to different areas that you would never imagine that you could go.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just sitting right under our nose.
Right under our nose. You were telling me a little bit before we started about, you know, how breath work and the ice plunge is at the center of what Omziel does.
That's right. It's
tell
one
us
of
a little bit more.
our main staple is just that. It's the breath work, and we get into the ice water. And it's about what we're talking about, the mindset. Putting people in a very uncomfortable position. It's uncomfortable. It's not only cold, it's painful. Physically, it hurts too. So you have to just ride through that and just stay with your breath. But it helps in other areas too. People want to write a book or start a company, you know, like that. It's like, or take a trip to LA in the car, like you did. You know, it would help you. See, because I'm sure that your story is even longer than that. Like, there was something else that pushed you towards that before that. It wasn't just like you woke up, okay, it might seem like that, but it wasn't like that. Some things beforehand, somebody encouraged you, somebody, you know, empowered you for you to go, like, you know what? I can do it, and I'm gonna do it, you know, like that.
Yeah, that was beautiful. What you just said just now allowed me to bring gratitude to my heart for all that I've experienced thus far. Because all of that in which I experienced from this point, you know, going back, is like, it brought me to this point.
Right,
you know?
of course.
Like, giving gratitude to it all.
Yeah, of course, I'm grateful.
Everything happens for us.
Right.
Everything is really happening for us.
It is.
And once you make that mindset shift, you know, you really start taking advantage of your life. I am the creator of my reality.
That's right.
I created this experience right now. I showed up. I'm proud of myself.
That's right.
You know, and you showed up. I had to allow life to bring you here.
Yes.
You know, and for you to bring yourself here. So, all praises.
I appreciate that.
All praises.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much. I appreciate you, sister.
Yeah.
We could just keep going for days, and your energy is so high, and I'd love to have you back again. Come through Omziel, and we'd love to host you. Perhaps you can teach a class about reading and the book club and all that. We would love that.
Yeah.
You know?
One more last thing I want to share. I do want to leave everyone with, you know, just remembering that the journey is internal. So whatever pathway that you decide to, you know, heal yourself from the inside out, whether it's through nutrition, whether it's through working on, you know, your mental health, emotional intelligence, know that the journey is really inside of yourself. So start there.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you,
Peace,
sister.
everybody.
All right. Well, there you go. Oh, where can people find you?
Oh, people can find me in the book club on Instagram. So my name is Meerah again. So you can find me the @ M2ESRA with 4 H's. So Meerah, you'll post it there. You'll see it down below on the screen.
Exactly.
And then Read to Apply is @Read to Apply on Instagram. @Read to Apply.
And your partner?
Yeah. So my partner, So excited. Thank you for that. His name is Jason. You can find Jason at Jason Lequette on Instagram, on Twitter, and we're both in charge of the Read to Apply page. So yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
And stay tuned. Stay tuned. If you're interested in joining Read to Apply, definitely contact us via Instagram and check out the books that we have lined up for this year.
All right, that's great.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate you, sister. There you have it, y'all.
Peace, y'all.
All right, coming from Plant Base in New Jersey is Omar from the Omziel Healing Sanctuary. Thank you and peace.
This is beautiful.